How we doing, Born Eggers? It's your buddy Beaner. It's Sunday. It's playoff football. It's Enchilada day. I posted some pictures in the group a couple of weeks ago regarding enchiladas, and I got to tell you, we've all made things before where you get done making them and you say, holy cow, I honestly impressed myself with this deal. Well, that's kind of these enchiladas. So I don't want to build this up and hype this up too much, but I'm going to because they are that damn good. So, without further ado, what you're going to need to make these damn things, okay? Yellow corn. Yellow corn is heartier than delicate kind of white corn shells. I've done a lot of research, you guys, when we do put these recipes together, and we kind of try them out, and we've all done it. And I know that every single time we try to improve upon what it is that we've done the previous time. But based on based on everything that I've been trying and doing and tasting and everything along those lines, again, this is all kind of a suggestion. I'm cheating today. I'm going with McCormick taco packets. I use these in my over-the-top chili. It's good stuff. It's really, really easy. If you have the desire to make your own taco seasoning, it's simple to do. You guys know it's chili powder, garlic side. It's very simple to do. But what's even simpler is to use these, okay? And that's what I'm going to season my shredded chicken with. It just makes life much, much easier. I make the enchilada sauce myself, okay? Here's what we need. For garnish, we're going to need jalapeno poppers. Peppers, what am I thinking? Cilantro. Flour. We have a gluten-free member in the house, therefore this is gluten-free flour, some butter, some cheese. You've got some cumin here, along with some garlic powder, chili powder, and oregano. Always a measuring cup. We've got some oil, some chicken stock. Why chicken stock over broth? It's a really good question based on everything I've read. Stock is going to get you closer to the bone. It's a heartier flavor. It's a little bit richer of a flavor, and it works perfectly with this recipe. Always some paper towels and a baking dish. Last time I made these, I used it in a glass Pyrex dish. It's got some feedback saying, dude, aren't you worried about putting glass on the egg? And I said, no, not really. And then I did a little research, and based on what I've been reading, some folks have had some glassware break in their Kamados at roughly 500 degrees. So if you turn your head and you look away and this thing climbs up to 500 degrees, I'd hate to lose a whole batch of delicious enchiladas based on a decision. So, where are we going with this? Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get the enchilada sauce started. I'm going to make the enchilada sauce, and I'm going to get this good stuff going. Why I make the enchilada sauce early is because you can actually put it in the refrigerator if you want to. It's not a big deal. I just like to get it out of the way, get the pot cleaned up, move on to bigger and better things like watching a football game. Okay? All right. So, one of the things I heard is if you take dry spices and you brown them and heat them up, they come alive. Has anybody ever heard this? I don't know. So I tried it, and can I tell you something? It's spot on. And when you're going for an enchilada sauce that's kind of rich in flavor and smooth and things along those lines, like anything I can do to kind of make that sauce a little bit tangier, a little bit stronger, I'm going to bring that to the party. And I'm going to tell you, it's a really, really, really good decision to do that. Okay? All right. So, let's go ahead and let's throw some spices in a pot and see what happens. All right, you guys. Making the enchilada sauce. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that shredded chicken. I'm going to take a sip of my beverage. I must preface, I don't always drink on Sundays. No, not always. But I always do during playoff football. Got my dry ingredients. Got my chili powder, got my garlic powder, got my cumin, got some oregano in there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to brown this up just a little bit. And I'm telling you guys, if you do this, if you brown this, you can actually smell those spices start to kind of kick in and come alive. It's the craziest thing, but it's the truth. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Transfer that to a bowl. Put this back on. Take my butter. Drop the butter and let the butter do its thing. Kick the heat up just a bit to medium. Grab a whisk. Now this is what I'm doing here, guys. I'm making a roux. And what that roux is going to do is it's going to thicken up this enchilada sauce. You can see that starting to sizzle in there. Okay, I'm getting a melt on that butter. Don't worry, you know, you're thinking, man, there's some spices left in there. Can I tell you, kids, something? It doesn't really matter because it's in the sauce anyway. So it's not like I'm making a lemon meringue pie and I'm going to mix some chili powder in there or something. Now, got my flour, as I'd mentioned, gluten-free member of the family. Kind of work this in a little bit. You can see this butter is actually almost all melted. And I don't want to make a roux like I'm making a thick soup, but I want to make a roux that's ultimately going to thicken my sauce. Okay. Turn this thing down to low. Spices are going to go back in. I'm telling you guys, this is like a crazy simple. Notice I'm just kind of pulling it off, creating a paste. Again, you can smell that. Man alive, just that smell. Video person, how's that smell?
Good.
Good. Okay, you ready for this? One-stop shop. 2 cups of chicken broth, or stock, my bad. Mix this up. This time we're gonna go over some heat. We're gonna kick this up to about a medium heat, and we're gonna stir it until it gets really, it's not too high of a heat. Stir this up, and you're gonna already start to see this stuff get thick, you guys. Now here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna wait probably 4 minutes while stirring. Okay, maybe 6. I don't wanna waste everybody's Sunday or time whenever you might be watching this. So I'm gonna thicken this stuff up, and then I'm gonna set it aside, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get that chicken and the egg. Shredded chicken. This shredded chicken is flippin' great. It's so good. We eat it with burritos, we eat it with tacos, we eat it, you can eat it in salads, you can, I mean, obviously quesadillas. It's really, really, really good, you guys, and it's very, very simple. It's a 2-hour deal, okay? So what I do is, again, you guys know I'm a fan of Cento. I've already got my Dutch oven here up to about a medium, and I'm just gonna sear this chicken real quick. I'm just gonna sear these sides just real quick. And I know that you're wondering, why am I gonna do that since this is gonna go right into the bath of spices and broth, or stock, I keep saying that. But what I wanna do is I just wanna brown up the sides just a little bit, just to hold that juice in as long as I can. And it's also a texture thing. See, these getting browned up. I did pound these out a little bit. It's a force of habit. I just always think kind of loosening up a chicken breast as you can as you go. Now, a little bit of a light sear going on there. I'm going to take an entire box of chicken stock. So I put 4 chicken breasts, good-sized chicken breasts, you guys. They equate to 2 pounds. I'm going to put this entire box of Swanson chicken stock in there. I'll stir this over here a little bit. Oh, yeah. See if we bounce back. Look what happens, you guys, 5 minutes later. Is that not? That is the perfect enchilada sauce. Shortcut City, but you want to know what? I can live with it. Empty the contents into the Dutch oven. Okay, this is where it gets like ridiculously, stupidly easy, you guys. Take it, quick stir. We're going to the egg. All right, you guys, so I started up the egg about, it was probably about 45 minutes ago because I wanted to level it out at about 300. And that's exactly what I did, is I'm hitting at about 300 mark. Real quick, if you could, camera person, scan the yard. This weather is for shit. And your buddy Beaner is egging. No excuses. No excuses. 300 degrees. Dutch oven goes on. The chicken is inside. Lid goes on. All right, you guys, here we are. We're at the hour, 30-minute mark. This thing climbed up to about 350. Let's see what we have. I gotta tell you, I've come in here a couple of times and shredded this up a little bit. Can you see what I'm dealing with? So slide in, do some shredding. You can see there's not a whole lot of liquid left here. So I'm gonna do the last 15, 20 minutes, you guys, with the lid off. But that's the shredded chicken that I've been bragging about. And this stuff is like gold, okay? So here, let's go ahead and throw this thing back on. I'm gonna tend to it a little bit, watch it so we don't end up cooking the juices all off and burn it. Throw it back on, lid off. I'm gonna do the last 15, 20 minutes, depending on how much juice is left. I don't wanna cook it dry. I wanna leave a little bit of juice left, okay? All right, especially if you put it in the fridge, reheat it the next day, you wanna have some juice left. All right, let's go. All right, you guys, we're back into the kitchen. We're gonna go back out to the egg, but we're back into the kitchen. Here, zoom in here once for me. See what I got going on over here. Okay, this is that shredded chicken. It's been sitting for about 8 minutes, so I can kind of handle it. Here's my enchilada sauce. See how it's like a nice thick, it's almost like a mole sauce. Mole sauce, all right. And then over here, you're gonna see I've got my cast iron with about, I don't know, maybe a half an inch, 3/4 of an inch of oil. And it's at what temp here? Let's check it out. My thermopen, bang, bang. You're gonna see that I'm sitting at, that's correct, 350. All right, here's what we're gonna do, you guys. As I said before, we're gonna go with a heartier shell. I don't know what they have in your region of the world, but a yellow shell, from everything I read, a yellow shell, and if you can keep it cool, which means it's a heartier shell. That's the one that you want to use. So I'm gonna bust these things open. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna, boom, put this thing in the oil. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just a quick little flip, just to get enough of the bubble. And you're gonna see in the inside here, you can see where it starts to cook. I'm gonna throw on a piece of paper towel, fold this over, and get ready for the next one. And this is relatively tedious. I understand that, but you know what? I don't care. Because by doing this, it makes it so that the shell doesn't break down when you throw it in that egg with that enchilada sauce and that cheese. And you guys, Jesus. Now you're gonna see I don't get crazy as far as duration is concerned because I wanna make it so it's still soft, you know, and that I can work with the product. We're about to assemble these enchiladas. And I gotta tell you, when I do these videos, I try to do everything to the nth degree. Like frying the shells, pan down here and check these shells out. Look at these. So I just quick flash fried these things so they're still kind of malleable. You'll see the edges are a little crispy. And I do that because it brings so much flavor. You know, we watch these shows on the Food Network and everything's about flavor. Everything I do is to the nth degree. But my buddy called me the other day and he's like, Beaner, can I do this stuff without doing this and without doing that? And the answer is hell yes. You do whatever you want. But this, what I'm doing right here is gonna bring a full effect. And I did slow down the process a little bit with the taco seasoning. You know what I mean? Because you can make your own taco seasoning. I mean, you can go wild with anything that you want to do. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start assembling these. And you can see this is perfectly perfectly fried to take, and you'll see my chicken over here. So I take some chicken, apply some chicken right here in the shell. And I'll tell you what, you guys, I probably wouldn't go a whole heck of a lot more than that because you wanna feed a bunch of people. And you can see that's my first shell that I put in here, and I put it in a buttered pan. Because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna apply my enchilada sauce and then put my cheese on after that. And you know what happens when cheese hits butter on metal? I mean, Christ. Here we go. All right, so again, you can see I'm not going wild, but I'm not a little stingy either. It's probably like maybe 1.5 Taco Bell tacos, kind of a thing. And then I could tuck these up against each other. And I'm just gonna roll right through this pot. And I'll tell you again, the reason why you just flash fry those shells is it gives them a lot more integrity to hold up to the bake in the liquid that you're gonna dump on there. All right, you guys, we assembled our enchiladas. We've got that incredibly delicious, kind of slow, but not real slow cooked shredded chicken that's stuffed with these guys. You can see how these things settle up. They almost look like egg rolls just by flash frying these things. And you can see right now, I mean, you could eat them and they would be incredible. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take look how deep and rich this sauce looks. It's almost like a mole sauce. It's like just an awesome texture. Depending on how you like it though, you can go, a little bit thicker if you want. So I'm applying the sauce here. And you'll notice that I didn't shove these things, I got a dozen in here, I didn't shove them right against each other. I like to have a little bit of space, and reason being is I want to be able to separate them when I serve them. So if I want to give everybody 1 or 2 or 3, or in my case, 9, man, do these look good. And you're gonna see I've got just a little bit of excess here, you guys, and I'm gonna use this just to top it off when I serve it with that fresh cilantro and fresh jalapeno. Here's the cheese. Here we go. Now you'll see I've got this thing pushed out to the edges, and again, buttered pan. Break everything up, give it some space, and just like a pizza, I'm not gonna go absolutely hog wild because it's not about the cheese, it's not about the chicken, it's not about the shell, it's not about the frying, it's not about the chili powder. It's about all of these delicious flavors just rolling together and getting finished up on that freaking egg or Kamado or whatever the hell it is that you're cooking on. See, I really like where we're at as far as right there to the edge. It's ready for the egg. It's ready for the egg. We're gonna go 350 for 30 minutes, and we're going to love this stuff. Enchiladas, baby. Check it out, Wisconsin. Sunday. Packers are winning. Snow's falling. Eggs hitting. 350. Enchiladas. Oh, shit. So I'm going to go 20 minutes to a half hour on this, you guys. I'm going to check back. Here's what I want to show you real quick. And while I shut this, check out my regulator, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But it's the replacement for the daisy wheel. I've had this thing pinned at 350. Just opened, I don't know, maybe a half an inch. Bottom's busted wide open. It's holding 350 with very little charcoal in the base of this thing. That's the power of this new cap. All right, half hour, we're feasting, man. Let's go, board egg. You guys, it's enchilada time. It's the 30-minute mark. Those are born to egg enchiladas. That's what we have tonight. It's a milder sauce for my daughter over here. But this is what we have tonight. So I'm going to let this cool 10 minutes. And then we're going to cut into it. We're going to feast. It's born egg. Let's go. All right, you guys. Here we go. It's been resting. It's about 10 minutes. I've got cilantro. I've got fresh jalapeno. I might actually use a little lettuce if you want some crispness to bring some freshness into this thing. I'm going to serve it up here in a second, but okay, here we go. Just go. Just do this. It's born egg. It's enchiladas. Let's go.